All right, guys, welcome back to Crypto Talk. So I wanted to run down a few things with you. My overall sentiment, how I feel in comparison to 2021, and how that's leading me to start to pivot in my projection of a market cycle top. I've talked about for going on a year now, basically, about having two potential options of March of 2025 and or October of 2025. And the signs I'm starting to see in the overall market from the mainstream media down to what I have here as the PEL multiple pulled up for you. I wanted to show you what I'm seeing, and it's more indication starting to show that we're going to have a cycle that's going to last in through the better part of 2025 and less likely to peak in early 2025. So I have here pulled up here. You can see the peaks from last bull market cycle. This is why the April 2021 high, which was not the actual high, was the high. This every indicator that I follow, including the 12 other ones on top of this one, pointed out, including the pi cycle top indicator, pointed out basically that April 2021 was the peak, and this one that happened later in the year, which is October 2021, was actually a all-time high, but was technically a false high. It was driven just due to ETFs due to Wall Street. So money pushed that one. Also, there's more indication showing now that global supply liquidity has everything to do with the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. In the 4-year, and the halving cycle may or may not just be in coincidental pace with that. So it should be interesting. So you can see here, anytime we enter the red zone here, you're towards the top. We didn't even hit it last time. So we had a market cycle top, and we got as high as let's be accurate here, 356. All right. So this cycle so far, March of this year, it was the highest we've ever gotten in this bull market cycle. We're sitting at 238. Right now, we are not even at 150. We're at 146, and we're at 108,000. So what does that mean? It means we're likely going to have exponential rise, and we may even well up before my actual peak target of 135. And we could see as high as the 250s that some people are calling for. But more so, since my bags are 90% alts, what I'm saying is the alt season hadn't even started yet. So likely you're going to have a 6-month run starting from basically January, February, running into late summer, early fall. Market should be overly heated by then, and then we'll have a correction. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'll leave you with that. Running here, the BLX chart, what does that look like? So right now, to my current original target, I was waiting to see more information, and I'm kind of leaning away from this being true. March of 2025 being the target, 90 days away. I just don't see that happening with the data I'm starting to see on the other indicators. I'm starting to see us fade through this. It doesn't mean we don't spike in March and we get a sell-off due to tax season in April for the U.S. citizens here. Have a slight consolidation period for a month or two, and then look to really let alts run at that point in time. Then Bitcoin blows off more towards October. So from today, we could have another full 300 days. Totally possible. I did measurements on how big these momentums take to peak and fall, and it's about 250 some odd days on average. So that's well within line of September, October being a potential market cycle top for Bitcoin. And if you're relatively new, I will lead you into, I think I discussed it last video. Money goes into Bitcoin, profits are taken from Bitcoin, money cycles out of Bitcoin, goes into Ethereum and the larger top 20 altcoins. That boosts those up once they peak or go exponentially higher to the point where large institutions and whales and smart money takes profit. They pull their profits out of those coins, rotate them into the mid caps, and then vice versa down to the small caps. The narrative-based coins like AI and the meme coins, all that fun stuff, blow off last. So you'll have large cap, mid cap, small cap, and then basically last market, it was Shiba Inu and Dogecoin that went crazy at the very, very end. That was the nail in the coffin, and then the bear market started after the fact. So That's what I'm seeing currently. Based off certain indicators, I'm leaning more towards October 2025 now being the projected market cycle top. I will be looking for other indications that we all of a sudden go exponent. I mean, if we go to $1 million in the next 3 months for Bitcoin, then we may say March could be it. But unless something crazy like that happens, we see a God candle on a monthly, I don't see us putting in a top early. So I still see this momentum wave here on market Cipher B just kind of doing one of these like stair steps that does this big blow off and then maybe starts to decline into October while prices are putting all-time highs in, giving you a bearish divergence at that point in time on the monthly, and that could be the nail in the coffin we're looking for. So it's to be seen, but the data I'm starting to look at, like I keep saying, is saying that March is less and less likely from what I can currently see. Bitcoin on the 10-minute chart has hit an all-time high again. Put in another local top at 108. What are we coming in at? On MEXC, it's at 108. Let's call it 108.387. And different charts like Binance and Coinbase will be slightly different. Came back down. We're in range again, so we're range bound. We do this all the time. Put in a high here, came back down, swept the liquidity, probably came down to the 786, came back up again, put a new high, took out these shorts, put in new shorts, swept out liquidity here, probably bounced off the 0.5 or 618 fib, and then did the same thing here. Took out these shorts, put in new shorts, drive it down, look for a bounce continuation, and as long as we maintain these fibs here, these EMA ribbons here, I'm not too worried. I like what I see actually. So a little bit further for push down, I like the 105.289 mark would be great. Grab the liquidity. We already did grab it, so we don't really have to do that. So probably look to shake some people out here shortly. I'd like to see that. Let's zoom out here on the hourly for you and give you a better clue. You can see I hit my 106 target. I need to clean up my charts here shortly. Sorry guys, the gym has been killing me, so I've been killing myself at work. Yeah, on the hourly, we got some nice buy wicks, 1, 2, 3 strong buy wicks coming off of the 50 EMA on the hourly. 100 is down here at the weekly open, so I still wouldn't mind seeing a flush down here to 104.436. Also like the order block and liquidity grab down here at the 103.680 mark. It's also the weekly low. That would be a great SFP. We did something like that. You came down, swept liquidity under this here, swept the low, and then reversed that bad boy for another new all-time high. That's usually a textbook play by Bitcoin. You can see it's already done it already right here, right? You came back down, scared some people out, got a bounce off of these couple order blocks here, and then shot up again. Grabbed it, shot. So we're kind of getting a rounding distribution top. So we also, if that doesn't play out, you could have more of a bearish trend over the next couple of days where you've already got this, right? Another push up, get a rejection, get it head and shoulders here, and then let it come down for a target even lower. Come back down, test like the 102 mark, freak people out, drop $6,000, and then stair step your way into Christmas and New Year's. So until things play out, money flow is leaving. I will say that's the 1 hour. What does the 4 hour look like? You had an exponential rise. So, I mean, I'd like to see, I think, a healthy market. Let me just delete everything on this chart for you guys. All bye-bye. Yes, remove everything. All right. $94, that'd be a little much, but let's say, turn off my locking tool for you. Let's go off of that wick there, pull to the high. Yeah, you get the monthly VWAP down here at 99. That'd be a great liquidity grab. Freak people out. Go from 108 down to 99, 100 again. Previous week opens just above it at the 101, 184. ish mark. It's also the 50 EMA or 50 fib level. But bullish uptrends, I like to see them hold the 382, which is coming in at the 102.885 mark, just below the weekly low. So that would probably go with what my original thought was. Come back down, sweep some of this liquidity under this candle down here, bounce off of the 50 EMA, and then look to get a nice strong bounce at that point and start to stair step your way back up to another new all-time high. So that's Bitcoin. We'll leave Bitcoin alone. Bitcoin dominance has sprung back up. It's still rejecting off of the my trend line. So I'm still expecting this to have a strong rejection. You've got gapped RSIs, actually tight RSIs, and it's starting to round and point down. So I expect this to be a downside trigger wave to push this further down on the daily. VWAP is already heading down. Money flow keeps leaving. So this is going to be a strong push here shortly for the Bitcoin dominance. All right, start running down some things. Actually, I'll start backwards. I got a flack last video about not covering things like H-bar. So Caspa and H-bar that someone asked for, there's not much to talk about. Both these coins are pretty much in uncharted territory. Caspa's in the opposite direction. Caspa launched and dumped down to basically zero and is now bouncing off the bottom. H-bar here is doing the opposite. So it's got a huge pump. It's currently on the weekly back testing. It's 186 as support, so the 27.2 cent mark. And it is now bouncing back up to the 29 cent mark. So what are we looking at from here? In blue skies, the only thing you do is get fib projections. That's what everybody else does. So your next target's going to be up here at the 2618, coming in at 41 cents. The 3618 up at 55 cents, and then the 4618 up at 70 cents. So what does that look like from today's price? A 40% move, a 90% move, and a 140% move. Wall Street does like H-bar. Mr. Wonderful likes him a lot. Mr. Kevin O'Leary. So something to keep an eye on. It's not bad technology. I actually like them from a project standpoint. Casper, excuse me, not to get mixed up with Caspa. You got to finally you got a break in structure on the more of a bullish perspective, as good as you're going to get based on this horrible structure. This is hard to trade on, guys. This was just a hell of a short that people could have put in a long time ago. And again, I apologize. This is the only chart I could find. This is Bitstamp. If this is not the whole chart, I don't tell you. It's the only chart I can find. So this is what I'm doing my TA off of. Looking for you to hold this level. Monthly open, we're sitting on, we're holding it. We had some buy volume. This is a wicks here, which is very positive. Really big wick. So that tells me the bulls have stepped in here at the macro 236 fib level. Currently holding the monthly open right at the mark we're at now, pretty much at 1.8 cents. Until you get back above the 618, up at 3.3 cents, I don't see much I'm not, great time to accumulate, but I would expect a rejection up here. That's 81% away. Hard rejection somewhere in the neighborhood of the 886 at 4.5 cents, 145% away. Your first breakout target is up here at the 1618, 7.5 cents. T618 up here at 11 almost 12 cents at 560%, and then let's go all the way up to the 4618. 1,000%. So these coins have a lot to run on. This is what you want to find, actually, is coins that have not blown off yet and have not gotten past their 7.8 or 618 on the macro perspective. So Casper is another good one. All right, let's go backwards. SUI, not much to talk about. It's consolidating like everything else. So good time to buy if you haven't bought into it. I don't expect this to pretty much rug anymore. The market is starting to be really bullish. Although I will say this is a rounding top that's not exactly good looking. So I would expect this to back test the value area high at the very least, coming in at $4.29. So I expect a 30-cent drop just based on TA, what I'm seeing here. The money flow, all the indications are saying this is going to drop some. So look back down here to these support levels. You got the weekly VWAP just below it, along with the previous week open at $4.23. Look for a bounce there. My beloved band protocol, looking kind of toppy as well. Actually, consolidation. Let's see what the 4 hour shows. Yeah, more of a bull flag, but it really needs to hold the level it's currently sitting at, 175, sitting at the yearly VWAP. We don't want to lose that. We are getting some buy volume here. This is Coinbase's chart. This is the 4 hour. This is probably a key fib if I pull locally. Just below. It's in between the 786 and the 618. Really holding the yearly VWAP at the moment, so really need to hold that one. It's also sitting on the, what is that, the 414 fib on the macro perspective, right above the 382. So those key levels will hold. You're kind of putting in a macro double bottom here, what you want to see for cementing in a support resistance flip. So I'm expecting that to happen, and we'll continue something of that nature. Solana, we're in a falling downtrend. So this hasn't broken out yet. I drove this almost a week ago at this point. Yeah, this started just after Thanksgiving. I put this in, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't broken out from it. It's respected it well. So channels do work, guys. I use them a lot. You're in an up channel, now you're in a down channel. So look for this to, it's kind of, if I drew a midline here, it looks like it's bouncing there, which is also bouncing at the 200 SMA. So looking for a bounce here shortly to hold the weekly VWAP and then break back above the 229 mark, and then you're off to the races again. So this is really just a fancy consolidation. So right now, kind of reminds you of Bitcoin was about 2.5 months ago. You had a flash dump, so this is a spring and a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So you had a low, a higher low, a lower low, a higher low. Now you have a higher low. So now we're kind of cementing a turnaround. So we're getting a bottom kind of put in. So we're just waiting to see what happens there. AVAX. AVAX is doing a funky double top as well. Let's go to the 4 hour to get more clarity. Ooh, ugly. I don't like the way that looks, but all right, just looking at indicators, come back down to the monthly opens, probably likely at 44.85. Let's pull a fib here and see where we really are in the local perspective. Yep, and that would cut through the 618 and freak people out. Maybe even come as low as the 786 down at 43.28. I still think this is just a range. You formed a new range. So at that point in time, just grab your fixed range tool. Just pull from high to low. And then see where it sets up. Oh, that's ugly. I don't like that range. Let's do this one. Let's see what that looks like. A little better. All right, so that's more or less what I'm looking at. That was too narrow. This is much more broad. So look to hold this monthly open here is kind of what I'm looking at, guys. This is also tops here. These order blocks should hold as support as well. So let's give that let's call it a $44 mark to be even. Lose another $3 basically. Come on down, flush everybody out, and then bounce. So put in a higher low as well. Kind of do another reversal turnaround, but also a topping pattern that's accumulation related. DGen, his thing is falling off the charts. Don't be fooled. I've already been fooled by this coin once before, where if the whole market starts to turn around and you think all altcoins will follow, not always. This is usually a great short once it gets going, so this is not stopping anytime soon. You can drop all the way down here to these tops. This coin's so small, I'm not going to measure, but basically probably down here, the 1 cent mark. You're below all this support at this point in time. Been too busy to leverage trade this stuff anyway, so I've just been holding my spot bags. So I'll leave that one alone. KDAO. Someone keeps pumping and dumping this thing. We are sitting right now on the point of control, so that is good. We had a nice tag of the value area low, so it's respecting the range very well. Very much in accumulation, so we just need to have another big pump like this, and then it to hold a higher low and then move higher again. So I don't think this is going to happen until alts really start to take off, probably sometime the end of December, beginning of January. I think once Bitcoin is firmly above the 110 mark and we're rocking and rolling, and you've got other alts that are in their all-time highs, because a lot of the actually I don't think a single alt is in an all-time high other than Sui, and I don't even think Solana's hit a new all-time high yet. So there's a couple coins that have, but most haven't. Most second cycle coins have not hit their all-time highs. Kaspa. Great time to buy. I'm glad I didn't buy. I'm glad I'm sitting on some cash right now in terms of some stable coins. You've got some good levels coming up. This would be a great time to DCA on the way down. Yearly open is down here at 11 cents. That would freak people out. But you can see by just the KDAO I just showed you, it's holding up very well, while the main ecosystem coin, the layer 1, is actually dumping. So we're actually trying to come right into the 620 here on the macro perspective. I should say on more of the midterm perspective. We have some levels of support coming in. So I'm expecting a bounce here in the near term. This would be a good spot to DCA. And I might just do that. Nacho. Same thing. It's holding up better than the actual layer 1 coin itself. If you don't know anything about KRC20s, I can post a link in the description below and we'll kind of run down some things with you. Or just hit me up in Discord and I can talk to you more in depth there. Or on Twitter or X. Nacho, the largest KRC20 coin by market cap, it is just accumulating, guys. Not much else more than that. So again, same thing before. Just pull a fixed value area range. You get an idea where you are, something like that. I hate this magnet. It drives me nuts. I turn this thing off because that's not exactly right. So somewhere like that. So we're testing the value area lows again below the POC. So good time to keep DCA if you believe in the project. Casper. Another coin that I hold. It is looking like it's about to do a nice falling channel to pop off. So actually this is the most bullish out of all the three I just showed you in the KRC20 perspective. I may rotate some funds into that. Peanut. Peanut is about to bounce off the value area low again. And this one interests me. I may take a low leverage long on this guy. Money flow starting to round up a little bit. Momentum is starting to round up a little bit. You've got a bull div here. If this can print here shortly, you've had a bull div. It popped off and then it completely got squatted on. Someone shot that down. It may be worth a gamble here shortly. Got to wait and see what else comes around from that. Asia is open and it is dumped. So I don't like how the RSIs are pointing down like that, but the VWAP's trying to turn back up. So looks like one or two entities is pushing price down. So pay attention to Peanut, maybe a good DCA and or low leverage play. Spectre AI is getting around the top. I expect it to come back down, or at least retest the old highs. If you're lucky, you'll see 343, and if you're really lucky, you'll come back down and retest the 240 mark. Cubic. Just range bound, guys. This is a great time. You want to buy on the lows and then sell on the highs. So really simple. So if you don't even have to leverage trade. You get a spot trade. You buy down here, you sell up here. I mean, on a coin like this, I'm not even going to pull tops to the bottom. See it? It's a 240% move. So that's a 2x just by spot trading. You don't even have to use leverage. That's how I learned to trade, and I was quite successful with that. My top coin last market was 600% without using without using leverage. So Ethereum is now crapping the bed again. They must have heard that Richard Hart was in profit, so they decided to dump on him. So this looks ugly too. Let's go to a bigger time frame. Ethereum has struggled hard, kind of like the first 6 months when Bitcoin had an ETF. It looks like poo. Yeah, we haven't even hit an all-time high. We're getting like a double top, triple top up here already. It's pretty bad. If we could hold these general levels where we're at, that'd be great. Monthly VWAP's coming in right there. We're bouncing off of that level. It's a key for support resistance flip here as well. We can hold this and this range bound, really bullish. If we lose that, look lower. I mean, start looking for some order blocks down in here. If we're looking for support, this would be a good one here, like a 3650. But then you're below all the monthly opens again. You're looking really bearish. Maybe Ethereum just needs a freaking flash crash to really get stuff started. Probably what you need is something like that. Come down to like 3,300 and then rocket to new all-time highs. Because if you zoom out, it's not even close. Yeah, 48.32 is the all-time high. 48.73.9 according to my chart. And that is roughly pretty close, really. Roughly, let's call it 27%. So it has time. It just looks peaky right now. I mean, it's just this huge rocket up, and then it's just been blah, blah. So we need to see some bulls step in, but right now it's got to cool off a little bit. So wouldn't mind seeing 34.75 again. Yearly VWAP's all the way down here at 31. So that could be the case. Just come down here, scare people out, flash crash, and then push up. All right, guys, that's it. Nothing to say to financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me, head over to Crypto Blackwall on Twitter, the Blackguard Discord. Need some private coaching, head over to my Patreon, hit me up there. And this is leaving my last thought. This is what I think Bitcoin's going to do. So I think the market will follow, and I am looking more towards October instead of March for 2025 Bitcoin peak. So I will talk to you soon. Thanks.